Time Athlete of the Year. 22 years old. She had a record-breaking season with the Indiana Fever in the WNBA. She shattered 6 rookie records for points and assists, 4 franchise records, and multiple all-time NBA records, including the most assists in a single game, 19. Reflecting on her impact, she stated, "I've been able to captivate so many people that have never watched women's sport."
18. 9 million viewers watch her make history. 6 rookie records fell in her first WNBA season. At 22, she became the youngest athlete of the year. Then one interview changed everything.
And while the 3-time MVP, Aja Wilson, claimed Clark's race was a huge contributor to her popularity, it doesn't matter what we all do as black women. We're still going to be swept underneath.
Critics called it a betrayal. Supporters saw courage. The sports world erupted. This is a story that Time magazine didn't tell you.
And then turned them into fans. Before joining the WNBA, Clark became the highest scorer in college basketball history at Iowa, drawing a staggering 18.9 million viewers for March Madness finale. And against South Carolina, the second most watched women's sporting event in U.S. history. Time's Sean Gregory wrote, "Good luck naming another player who altered the trajectory of the entire sports team within 5 months on the job."
When Time magazine named Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year, nobody could have predicted the firestorm that would follow. Sure, everyone knew she was special. At just 22, she had shattered every record in sight. But this wasn't just about basketball anymore. During her rookie season with the Indiana Fever, she didn't just break records, she obliterated them. 6 rookie records for points and assists, 4 franchise records, and get this, 19 assists in a single game, the most in WNBA history. That's not just good for a rookie, that's unprecedented for any player. Lose $50 million this year, but because of Caitlin Clark and all her great success, they only lost $40 million this year. Amazing, great job. Kate Clark wasn't just winning games, she was transforming how people viewed women's basketball. Remember that March Madness finale, 18. 9 million viewers, that's more than most NBA playoff games. A college women's basketball game outdrawing professional men's playoffs, something no one thought possible. As Clark's star rose, so did the scrutiny. Every interview became headline news, every comment was analyzed and dissected. The pressure would be enormous for anyone, let alone a 22-year-old rookie navigating professional sports for the first time. With the following atom I'm going to come to. "You first believe me," she says. "I acknowledged her privilege as a white person in a league built on the contributions of black players." In her Time interview, she stated, "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there's privilege. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing." She also credited black basketball icons like Lisa Leslie Maya Moore for paving the way for success during an appearance on SNL. Despite her unprecedented accomplishments, including all the records that she had, so Ricky season criticism arose over her popularity. Golden State has suggested that her stardom reflects. Then came that pivotal Time magazine interview. Clark could have played it safe, stuck to talking about basketball and breaking records. Instead, she addressed something that had been bubbling under the surface for months. She acknowledged her privilege as a white athlete in a league historically built on the contributions of black players. She spoke about wanting to elevate black women in the sport. She mentioned icons like Lisa Leslie and Maya Moore, crediting them for paving the way. These weren't controversial statements in isolation. Athletes acknowledge their predecessors all the time, but in today's media environment, Clark's words became a lightning rod. The reaction was swift and intense. Golden State media started throwing around terms like Great White Hope Syndrome. Critics accuse her of virtue signaling. Supporters praise her awareness. The sports world split into camps debating whether she should have said anything at all. Is a zombie company that is subsidized by you lesbians. The NBA, yes it is. I think 70% lesbian business impact was immediate. Jersey sales skyrocketed, arena attendance broke records. The WNBA, struggling with viewership, suddenly found itself center stage. But there was a cost to this attention. The actual basketball. Clark's incredible play on the court sometimes got lost in the noise. Her teammates' response told its own story. In an era where locker room drama spills onto social media, the Fever players stayed unified. They knew the real Caitlin Clark, not the one being debated online, but the teammate who showed up early and stayed late. Clark handled the criticism with remarkable poise, no backtracking, no Twitter wars. She just kept playing at an elite level. She maintained her focus despite the growing controversy, showing maturity beyond her years. A clear pattern emerged. People who actually watched Clark play had very different opinions, and those who only knew her from headlines. The divide wasn't about politics or race, it was about whether people actually engaged with the sport itself. As Sean Gregory wrote in Time, good luck Nam, another player who altered the trajectory of an entire sport within 5 months on the job. That was a real story, an athlete so compelling she forced people to pay attention to a sport they'd previously ignored. The numbers backed this up. TV ratings soared whenever Clark played. Social media engagement around women's basketball reached unprecedented levels. Marketing experts estimated her impact on the WNBA's revenue in the millions, but with that impact came responsive ability. Every game became an event. Every post-game interview carried the weight of potential controversy. For a rookie trying to establish herself in the pros, this added an extra layer of pressure to an already challenging transition. The media coverage intensified. Stories weren't just about her playing style anymore. They analyzed everything from her body language to her choice of words. Some outlets praised her for using her platform responsibly. Others accused her of playing to the crowd. Through it all, Clark kept breaking records. Her shooting percentages improved month after month. Her assist numbers climbed. She was proving that no amount of off-court drama could affect her game. Local basketball programs reported surge in young girls signing up to play. Parents cited Clark as their daughter's new role model. But even this positive impact became part of the debate. Was it about her play, her personality, or something else entirely? The controversy highlighted bigger questions in sports. Should athletes speak about social issues? Does acknowledging privilege diminish personal achievement? Can an athlete be both a role model and a record breaker? What made Clark's situation unique was its timing. She entered the WNBA when women's sports were gaining unprecedented attention. Her success could have been just about basketball. Instead, it became a catalyst for broader conversations about sports, race, and representation. The story took another turn when Maria Taylor interviewed Clark about the controversy. People expected Clark to back down, maybe soften her stance. Instead, she doubled down on authenticity. I've earned every single thing that's happened in my career, she said, while still acknowledging those who came before her. That interview changed the narrative. Clark showed she could handle tough questions with grace and honesty. She wasn't playing to either side, she was just being herself. For a 22-year-old under intense scrutiny, this level of poise was remarkable. The business world took notice too. While some critics were busy debating her comments, Clark's marketability soared. Nike offered her one of the biggest rookie contracts in WNBA history, $28 million. Other major brands lined up for partnerships. The controversy hadn't hurt her brand, it had enhanced it. But the real story was happening in gyms across America. Youth basketball coaches reported unprecedented interest from young girls. Clark's impact wasn't just about breaking records. She was inspiring a new generation, and these kids weren't focused on the controversy. They were focused on her crossover dribble and long-range shots. The WNBA's response proved interesting. League executives, and initially nervous about the controversy, saw attendance numbers climb. TV ratings spiked. Even people who tuned in to criticize stayed to watch the actual basketball. Clark wasn't just handling the pressure, she was turning it into opportunity. Her gameplay continued to evolve. If critics thought the controversy would affect her performance, they were wrong. Her scoring average increased, her assist numbers went up. She was playing some of her best basketball. While under the most intense scrutiny of her career, veterans of the league started speaking up. Players who'd been in the WNBA for years saw